It's been 1 year since America thought we'd get our first ever female president, but instead we got our first ever clearly mentally ill president. Well, it's been a year since humanity entered the alternate reality known as idiocracy, or as Donald Trump puts it, it'll be such a nice warm-up for the reality where the machines take over. 1 year after he was elected, the president is now traveling in Asia since he's basically been banned in Europe. And before we take a look back, we'd like to hear a word from our sponsor. The word is we have no sponsor. If you subscribe and we get to 10,000, then apparently we can start talking to sponsors. Now, to take a look back at what happened, let's take a look at the book, What Happened? Or its full title, Hillary Clinton, What Happened? Or its alternate title, What Happened? Hillary Clinton, What Happened? Or perhaps Hillary meant it more like, What happened? Full disclosure, I like jokes about grammar. You know, like grammar is the difference between knowing your shit and knowing your shit. It's the difference between helping your Uncle Jack off a horse and helping your Uncle Jack off a horse. Or it's the difference between first-hand job experience and first-hand job experience on a horse. And after reading Hillary's What Happened, I think her real message is right there on page 1, where she writes, I kept going after a shocking defeat, which can be read, it was really hard, but I kept going after a shocking defeat. Or, a simple defeat? Nah, I kept going after a shocking defeat. Now me, I did not stay up to watch Hillary's shocking defeat. I had to go to bed early because the next morning I had to wake up and speak at a conference on education, which may as well have been called Education Who Needs It? We're just gonna wing it. And I remember turning on the Dutch national news and item number 1, Donald Trump elected president. But item number 2 is what really stood out. It was strange church fire in a small town just outside Amsterdam. There was a cross with Jesus on it, which was already catching fire. And right after they went live, this happened. Now, I'm not a religious man, but if the news that you've been elected president is greeted by Jesus Christ bursting into flame and plummeting 30 meters to the ground, probably not a good sign. I'm not saying Donald Trump is the Antichrist. I'm just pointing out that as soon as Trump showed up, Jesus was like, I'm out of here. So what have we learned in a year's time? Well, a lot of people said, freedom-loving Americans will never vote for a fascist. But a lot of Americans were like, what's wrong with having a sense of fashion? And a lot of people said, common sense Brits will never vote against their own self-interests. But a lot of Brits were like, hold my drink. And so, looking back, if history teaches us anything, I guess it's that history doesn't teach us anything.